Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, the link in my Instagram, moviepilot.com, or even YouTube, what up, world? Man, this movie talk is December. It's my last movie talk for the year. So I'm gonna hit y'all with my favorite movies that take place during the Christmas season. Cause there could be some uproar. A lot of people might not consider some of my picks Christmas movies. So if they take place around Christmas, I'm gonna say they count. At number 10, I got Jingle All The Way. It's starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rita Wilson, Sinbad, Phil Hartman, Jim Belushi. Put the cookie down, man. And let me not forget little Vader, little Anakin Skywalker. Schwarzenegger's son wants a Turbo Man doll. It's Turbo time, and Schwarzenegger is so consumed by work, man. He misses like every important event in this kid's life. So he wants to make it up to him. He wants to find this doll, and he just gets put through the ringer to look for this toy. And Sinbad is on the same mission for his kid, and they go at odds. They have like a frenemy type relationship, and Arnold Schwarzenegger whoops ass on like a whole factory full of Santa Clauses. There's like the side character, the pink lion dog rat Booster thing. You know what? Nobody likes you, Booster. And then man, like the movie, the premise, what actually happens in this thing is utterly ridiculous. But it's funny, man. Like I love this movie. I watch this movie every December. At number 9, I got a movie that just came out this year, the night before, with Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So I'm not gonna give too much away. One of the characters went through a tragic event, and his two friends help him out every Christmas, and they celebrate, help him get through time. I can't wait to own this movie. I'm a big fan of these three main actors. Like, the comedy worked for me, the story worked for me. There are side actors that make the movie even better. Michael Shannon, looking at you. Once this comes on Blu-ray, I'll watch this every year too. At number 8, this is the first movie that people could argue, that's not a Christmas movie. Well, I say it is, because one of the villains lights a big Christmas tree. The hero gets accused of killing a character, pushing a character into that same tree later on in the movie, and there are penguins in it. Penguins are cold, wintry creatures. So if you haven't guessed by now, man, Batman Returns is my number 8. It takes place during Christmas. What Santa Claus, afraid not, just some schmo who got lucky. And forgive me if I want to give a little back. It's the worst Christopher Walken ever. But Max Schreck and the Penguin team up to have him run for mayor, and then to have the Penguin run for mayor. Catwoman gets brought in it. Probably the most iconic incarnation of Catwoman ever. The best cinematic Catwoman so far. It's not taking anything away from Anne Hathaway. And even when I was growing up, I was like, man, like I like Batman Returns. You know what I'm saying? I was like 7, 8 years old. I like Batman Returns because it takes place during Christmas. I like Batman Forever because it takes place during Halloween. Now that I'm older, I don't really count Batman Forever as a Halloween movie, but I still count Batman Returns as a Christmas movie. At number 7, I got Elf, Will Ferrell, Zooey Deschanel, James Caan, directed by Jon Favreau. Like, Will Ferrell is like a 6-foot plus elf who grows up in the North Pole. He sits on, like, Bob Newhart's like the lead elf. He sits on his lap. It's hysterical. And how he goes to meet his real dad, and he still compares like everything to the North Pole. Even Tyrion Lannister is in this movie. Faison Love is in this movie. I saw this movie for the first time like 2-3 years ago, but it's hilarious, man. Will Ferrell like played this character perfectly. At number 6, I got Bad Santa. Man, this is the role that like made Billy Bob Thornton popular. You know what I mean? There was Sling Blade, and he did a couple things before Bad Santa, like Monsters Ball or whatever. Like people were aware of Billy Bob Thornton, but this like put him into like pop culture where he just started doing the dickhead comedies like the Bad News Bears remake and School for Scoundrels. It's so funny. Like all he does is smoke and drink and curse and piss himself while he's in the Santa seat in the Santa costume. He be like booty doing the bigger chick in the dressing room, and John Ritter just get disgusted and try to snitch on him to Bernie Mac, and all they trying to do is end up robbing this damn mall. And man, it's funny. Like I watched it a couple weeks ago, and it was so much more funnier than I remember. And they finally announced a release date for the sequel, which comes out next November. So I'm gonna rewatch it again before that comes out. At number 5, I got A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas or 3D Christmas, depending on what your iteration of the title is. And man, y'all could tell, man, I like the non-traditional Christmas movie. I love this series, and they did a 3D movie that revolves around marijuana during Christmas. After Guantanamo Bay, the two main characters haven't spoken in forever. Kumar won't grow up. Harold is like the boss of a big company, and the 3D was so ridiculous. They used claymation. That little baby who inadvertently does like however much coke, and she's like crawling off the walls and shit. I mean, the little waffle monster. They do callbacks to the other movies with all the White Castle boxes all over Kumar's apartment. And this Santa, like this is one of the best 3D movies I've seen, specifically for Patton Oswalt and Cal Penn when they're like smoking in the back of their trunk, and like the smoke rings go like into the theater or whatever. But man, this movie's hilarious. Neil Patrick Harris doesn't have as big of a role as he did in the first two, but he gives a nod like, see you guys in the fourth one. I really hope they just do one more. I just want to see one more ridiculous story with these characters. At number 4, this falls into the Batman Returns category of is it or isn't it. And if you look behind me, you can see this movie. This has been in all my videos I've done in front of this tree. Lethal Weapon. This movie starts off with a Christmas song. I want to say it's Jingle Bell Rock. I just watched it, and I know there's a Christmas song. This one starts with a Christmas song. Die Hard ends with a Christmas song. So in my opinion, that qualifies it. That's a qualifier if Christmas music is in the movie. Don't bring up any movies that take place in the middle of July. Just have Christmas music in it. There's a Christmas tree in Murtaugh's house. When Riggs is contemplating shooting himself, he's watching the Looney Tunes Christmas Carol. Then when Gary Busey like shoots the TV, he said it's Christmas. Cause yeah, he's watching another version of a Christmas Carol. I'm justifying why this is a Christmas movie. I don't feel like I have to, but still. At number 3, I got the Santa Claus. Like I love this movie. I was like 8 when this movie came out, so I was still young enough for it to leave an impression on me. Tim Allen plays a dude, same initials as Santa Claus, and he's so caught up in his job that he's kind of on the Arnold Schwarzenegger Jingle All The Way thing of not there really being there for his kid. He hears I forget the lullaby lyrics, like he made such a clatter or something, and Tim Allen hears it, goes and investigates, sees the guy on the roof, guy falls, guy dies. Tim Allen is Santa Claus. He tries to ignore it. He shaves. It grows right back. He puts on so much weight. He starts eating a lot of milk and cookies. All these damn kids line up, try to sit on his lap. And everybody around him thinks he's crazy once he's finally accepted it, except his son. And he ends up doing it all for his son. I don't want to talk about the sequels, but this movie is a Christmas classic. At number 2, I got Die Hard. How could this movie not be on my list, man? Like I said earlier, this movie ends with a Christmas song. And Let It Snow, I think. He tells you, now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Christmas in Hollis with Argyle in the car. And it's arguably the greatest action movie of all time. This movie is perfect for Christmas. I mean, what more can you say about Die Hard, man? You can watch this movie any time of year, but I specifically love to watch it between the 23rd and 25th of December. Number one, my favorite Christmas movie of all time. My favorite movie that takes place during the Christmas season. Surviving Christmas. Oh, James Gandolfini. Like, this is why there was such a gap in between, like, Sopranos season 4 and Sopranos, like, season 5. And I'll do a Sopranos video down the road, but they all started, like, during real time. And then you got Affleck, like, right in the midst of his Reindeer Games, Daredevil, Geely era of movie making. I am bullshitting the hell out of y'all. I'm cheating. My number one pick for Christmas season movies is Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. These movies, especially the first one, I guarantee, like, I will not let Christmas go by without watching Home Alone. Some of my favorite movies of all time, honestly. Just as how much I enjoy them and how much I can rewatch them every year like I've never seen them before. Everybody knows the story. Kevin McAllister gets left home alone. Two criminals, the Sticky Bandits, the Wet Bandits, in the first movie, they're trying to rob an entire neighborhood, but that his house is the one that they want the most. He's there. They don't realize it until like halfway through, and then they start to develop a plan, and he has some surprises up his sleeve, and he whoops they ass. And then they cross paths in New York, and then it turns into basically a rehash of Home Alone, but still just as enjoyable. I love Home Alone 2. And like the Tim Curry characters, the Rob Schneider characters, they just add to the comedy. The bird lady ends up being the old man from the first one, and he's got the turtle doves that he got from the toy store, and his uncle's house that's another carnival of hell for the Sticky Bandits. And then when Macaulay Culkin grabbed that girl booty in the street, and he was like, he did it, and she whoops Harry and Marv's ass. Man, I love these movies. Like that's all I can say, man. That's my 10 through 1. As far as Christmas themed movies that take place during the Christmas area time, whatever, not specifically released on Christmas. I don't want to hear no Batman Mask of the Phantasm or Star Wars or Concussion or Unbroken that came out last year. Man, they got to take place. There's got to be trees. There's got to be the music. There's got to be some kind of acknowledgement that it is Christmas time. I recently got videos posted for In the Heart of the Sea, Star Wars, Sisters, Point Break, Daddy's Home, Concussion, Joy, all over the past couple weeks. Check those out. End of the year videos, my favorite movies of the fourth quarter, my favorite movies of the year, my most anticipated movies of next year, and then my entire Blu-ray collection. That's all coming. Look out for that. If I'm able to see The Hateful Eight in theaters at any point in January, my movie talk next month is going to be my favorite Tarantino movies. He's got 8, so I'm just going to rank them. Revisit what I've done. It's been a dope year. Still more to come. Find me where y'all find me. Peace.